guys, please accept them. And to be live on, to put live on YouTube or to expose yourself on YouTube, it's really interesting. That can be a little hard at the first moment, I know, but it's a process of your learning. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. So guys, we are live on YouTube, and I was mentioned for Ianca and Lucas how important it's to be here online because it's a kind of um, it's a way to enjoy the process and look how you can grow up, yeah, on your journey. Just explain about talk and talk. I'm not a teacher, it's not a class. I'm here just to practice my English skills or improve my communication as well, okay? And I'm here with Lucas and Yanka. And for start the conversation, the topic today will be about philosophy or about the life or different conceptions in the society, yeah, currently. And yeah, about me, I'm Belle. I'm almost 30 years, yeah, yeah. So I'm from Fortaleza, but nowadays I live in Salvador. I work like air traffic controller. I have two dogs. Normally, here they participated at my immersion. I'm a morning person. I'm a alcoholic, and yeah, I like to talk about life, talk about theories, different theories, and let me see about you, Yanka. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, morning. My name is Bianca. I am 27 years old. I was born in Itaquera, São Paulo, but I grew up in São Roque. It's a small city in the countryside of São Paulo. And nowadays I'm living in Campinas, doing my PhD in here. I live by myself with my cat, Mary. She's here by my side always. She's less talkative than your dogs, but she talks sometimes. And I like, in my free time, I like to do nothing. Nowadays, I'm trying to read more. I'm reading a really interesting book, Olhos d'Água, by Conceição Evaristo. It's really nice. I recommend this book. And I like to go to the gym, to cook. And yeah, I think it's that.
Perfect, Bianca. Thank you for coming. And let's move on with you, Lucas. Please introduce yourself because it's your second immersion here. Don't be awake. We don't judge anyone. Yeah, we are here, like I said before, just for practice our English communication. Please just respect it and yeah, and enjoy the conversation. Okay, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucas. I live in São Paulo at Guarulhos. I live my whole life here. I I live in a house with my brothers, my two brothers, and my mother. I'm working to go out and live with my fiance. We will marry, and I have 30 years. That year I will make 31 years. So I like to go to the gym. I like to read. I'm reading a book about art, um, history of art by Gombrich. Yeah, that book. And I like to talk. I really like to talk and talk, and I talk a lot. So that's it.
So perfect. You are the safe place to talk. I'd like to talk too, but in English, it's like I need to improve that, and it's my process. Yeah. So thank you for coming, Lucas. And yeah, guys. So I choose the questions, but I know the first question that can be really hard to start the conversation. But I will try to start with that because maybe when you try to answer that kind of question, we can start to think about how important it's or not is philosophy in our life. Yeah, it's not necessary to be about the philosophy. It's just about to think about the life or to be awake about the everything. Yeah. So, yeah, I will start with you. I'm sorry about that. I know it's 7 a.m., but for you, what's the meaning of the life or what's the purpose of the life? You can bring some aspect about your beliefs or your perception to be free. It's your moment, okay? And
Mhm.
why do you think it's important to be awake about that? Or you just to think about it's just important to live in the automatically way?
Mhm. Uh, I think, I don't know, thinking about philosophy, the origin of philosophy, uh, in the origin of philosophy, there were some religious philosophers that said that philosophy, that the meaning of life is to accomplish divine plano, a divine plan, and you were predestinate to do some things. And there was another part of the philosophers, I think, that discuss the meaning of life more related to your experiences that you are living, and with this you build your meaning of life, you know. And I think I'm more in this way. But to me, the meaning of life is to live the life in the better way possible, but actually to live the life, you know, because sometimes we lost ourselves in the routine. We move all our life to work, just to work, or to one point, only one point, or a relationship, or just work, or to live to others. But to me, it's the to live the life in the most profound way, I guess, to have fun, to have good moments, good experience, to experience yourself during the life, during this process. And yeah, I think it's more this. It's a philosophy. It's a philosophic
Perfect.
answer, but the topic.
Yeah, I want to answer to listen about that because it's of course it's my point. I totally agree with you. And yeah, I really like to know about the other conceptions because yeah, in that case we have the same conception. And but when the persons have another conception, I'm really I'm a little interesting about that. I try understand because it's good to know about the other conceptions too. But for me, it's like you said, we are on the same page. I think we are here to improve ourselves, enjoy the life, and have a great experience. Yeah, and have a great relationship between the others. And yeah, it's kind of that. I think that's move myself. Yeah, move myself for the life. And Lucas, what do you think about that? What do you say? Do you have a different perception?
I think if you ask me that in Portuguese, I can respond to it's really complex. The meaning of
Don't worry.
life.
Just try explain in a simple word. Sometimes it's better. Okay, don't be afraid. Just try
Okay,
express
okay.
yourself at the moment. Okay.
So the meaning of life. I think life is a it's like a the word for montanha russa. I can't find that
Yeah.
word, but it's like that. It's like a roller coaster when you are up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, just down, up. And the I can't I don't have a lot of knowledge to refer something theoric, but I think that the ups and downs of life, the we need to find some answer in that moment. And life is this, just trying to stay okay and be cool because sometimes it's really hard, but sometimes it's really good, and I think it's really great to be alive. And sometimes I don't want to do nothing. The meaning of life is this: just stay calm and try to live.
Yeah, of course. I totally agree with you. Yeah, if you are here, it's because there is some purpose. It's my point. I don't know what the main point, but I know there is some purpose to be here. What do you say, Yanka? Do you have any conception different? Why? Because if you are live on live, yeah, if you are live, do you believe it's because there is a purpose of that, or it's just because it's a chaos and the universe? What do you say?
The question is if a questão a gente está vivo, e aí a questão é se tem um propósito para essa vida ou se é só o caos?
Yeah, it's the question.
Uh, Good question. I don't know. Thinking about again the religious way, maybe there are these maybe there is this comprehension of purpose, I guess, in the life. But to me, in this to answer this question, I think more like Lucas. I don't know if he agreed that it's just chaos, but in my comprehension, it's more a chaotic organized thing, I guess, because thinking about ups and downs and thinking about another thing that is statistics. I don't know if you know that normal curve, you know. So the life to me is that some points it will be nice, others not that nice, and you will building your normal curve in your life with good results and bad results. So I don't know if we have a purpose. I think it's a organized chaos, maybe.
Yeah, of course. I think when you need to organize the chaos, it's one task for us when we are in life. Yeah, because everything just work when you organize the energy, your work, or everything that you when you need to use, we need to organize before. And I talk about knowledge, about information, about everything. Yeah. So it's a good one. It's a good one point. Thank you, Yanka. And Lucas, do you know about some philosophy or in the currently nowadays, do you know any philosophy or in the past? If you could have a conversation with someone, how how would you be and why?
I know just one philosopher. One, not some of them the television, and I don't know. Do you all know about Abu Janra?
No,
They have, he have a program in TV Cultura, and that was really impacted. That
he is an
they
Indian philosopher. He's an
no
Indian. No.
no, he's Brazilian. He's Brazilian, but he's a older guy, bald. And when we ask some questions, they sometimes look like he's aggressive, but he's trying to uh, take the answers of the person. So I I really want to talk about Brujan. He already died, but sometimes I saw videos on YouTube, and he was a great, great. I know the word host. He's a great host. Um, and they talk. They do questions like the questions you post in the answers. What is the life?
Okay. Yeah.
What is the meaning of life? I up then sometimes the people don't can can ask. Sometimes the people feel angry with him. The already to the politic Clodovil. He already interviewed by Abu Janra and some in the and he answered the questions. The like he really angry about him. So it's great to see it's in something that I want to. If I can talk with that philosopher, is him because I think he's great. He's um he he can make the questions the right ways.
Perfect. Yeah, so thank you for mention that. I searched about that because I really never listened about it. And yeah, I searched about that because nowadays I don't have a lot of philosophers, but in Brazil I know Maricés Cortella, Karnal, Leandro Karnal, I think, and Lucia Lena from New Acropolis, I think. It's a school about philosophy. And normally I watching a lot of movie or class about philosophy from that kind of philosophers. And I'd like because it's really useful. That kind of philosopher bring me a lot of information about the life, but in the useful way. Yeah. How can I improve myself using that uh, conception? Yeah. Conceptions from the other philosophers like Seneca in the past, like Platon, like Aristotle or Cicero, for example. In the past, all the guys that start to think about the life are considered, yeah, was considered philosopher. So we can use that kind of conception from the past nowadays when that's philosopher, like I mentioned before, bring some conception. Yeah, it's really interesting because when we discover something or when you start to read some book nowadays, new book, for example, all the information are related. That's that's thoughts from the old philosophers. I don't know if I can to say about that, but yeah, it's a little kind of it's about that. And you, Bianca, do you have any philosopher to mention here? Do you know anyone that Lucas or I mentioned before?
Yes, I know some of them. Cortella, I know. And it's funny because I lost myself. But philosophy, it's a mother of the science, I guess, you know. Like I'm studying in the Instituto de Filosofia e Ciências Humanas. Philosophy isn't a human science, isn't a science, but it's a mother of the other science, you know, even to exacts or nature things, nature areas, we can use philosophy to think the origin of all of them. And it's hard to find a thinker that don't have this background in philosophy, like Leandro Carnal. He's a historian, actually. I had classes with him. And
Really?
yeah, his
Oh
class is
my God,
very nice. He's beautiful. He's a big
perfect.
sun, you know, walking.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the information from Leandro Carnal or your conception about the life. And I don't know if you just a moment. I don't know if you realize, but there are some difference about the focus from Cortella and focus from Leandro Carnal. The discourse are different. The way to talk about philosophy are totally different, but I like the both. Yeah, because are different conception. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, but I agree with you. And I like Karnal because it seems that he take your hand and go guiding you from the during the thought, I guess. He's very nice. I really enjoy to listen to him. But if I could have a conversation with a philosopher, I already know Karnal, so I would like to have a conversation with Simone de Beauvoir, for example. It will be really nice to think about the questions that are happening nowadays, like to bring to her the questions that are happening nowadays, like, please help me to think about this, because it's different from the point that she lived. Achille Mbembe, it's a no, Afro-Brazilian thinker. Also, Lélia Gonzalez, Chimamanda, maybe these whole thinkers, African thinkers, or thinkers that think about Blackness. I would like to have a conversation, but to think in the situation that we are living now, because it's very different. It's difficult to think about the contradictions that we are facing nowadays, to be Black and to be other things, and not just to be Black, but you can be Black and gay, you can be Black and poor, you can be Black and rich. So these intersections between categories, I guess. So this intersectionality, I think it will be really nice to think with them. And it's that, I guess.
So thank you for bringing that kind of personalities, because I really didn't know, but I searched for. If possible, Bianca and Lucas, please put in the chat, because I really like to know about the other conception. And it's really interesting when you mention, Bianca, for example, about the contradiction, or about the, for example, it's really different to ask it for someone about the meaning of life in a capitalist society, for example, or an occidental society. When you start to think about the other part of the world, you can use or have a different conception, a totally different about life. Yeah. So because of that, it's really important to look for the Iceland uh, out of the Iceland. Yeah, it's a good one to think about that. So thank you for mention that personality, and please put in the chat, because I searched for. It's really interesting, and I really like when you mention that, because it's the main point when you study philosophy, or when you are to be awake, or when you are interested to listen the other. We can we can use for that in our day. Yeah, you can improve our relationship, we can understand the other, we can improve our empathy, for example. It's a good point. You can to become useful, that kind of knowledge. Yeah. So let's move on. Lucas, are you here with us, please? Yeah. What do you say, Lucas? Because you mentioned, you said, do you like to talk? Yeah. So please, what do you think? Do you think the philosophy is just about to find answer, or asking question about the life, or about everything? What do you say? Or are they
I,
both?
I think the flaw. I don't really know if I can talk what philosophy is what about, because I'm the graphic designer, so I'm just that guy, you know. It's a great answer for some really normal. So I
But
think a philosophy. If
just,
I
I change the question for you, for example, because I don't know what you, because are you a designer, but you have some situation that you can use a different conception about something, like for example, one in a just moment you to, to are you work for the kind of person, and you need change your conception, or a different conception about your work, like, I don't know explain, but can you use your that kind different conception in your work, for example, Like in the first moment, you work for like a designer for a big house, for example, or a big apartment. And nowadays, you need to use other kind of philosophy, like a minimalist life or different lifestyle, for example. What do you
Yeah,
say?
yeah. No, no, I'm making something to make an idea now. But I think philosophy is more to make answers, because no answers, no, sorry, making questions, because the answers I think we can provide about some topics. Uh, Sometimes the right answer is what we look to say something, to think about something and find the proper answer for us. It's that. I think
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think it depends of the situation, yeah, like you mentioned, because depend of the questions are you try to explain, yeah. So yeah, I think are the both. When you have some questions about the life, it's because there are something inside of you, yeah. There are something inner, so you try to explain that because your mind, your body need to explain something. So when you ask yourself about something, it's because you are finding answers for uh, continue your movement, your life, I think. What do you say?
So, sorry. I don't understand the last question.
No, no problem. It's just my conception. I agree with you when you mention we need to have the correct questions. Yeah. But for me, I think depend of the questions and the answers. Yeah. So I think are the both. I think it's about the both. It's not just more one or not. Because then you have some um, when you have some I don't know inquietações. Yeah, it's because there are someone inside of you want to know about the life. Yeah, so I think it's that it's really hard. Sorry guys, but sometimes it's so hard to talk about it. In English, it's a little hard more.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So anyway, Anka, what do you say? Do you think it's more about find questions or asking questions or find answers?
I think that it's more about asking questions because of the origin of this thing, this philosophy, like thinking about Socrates that had a method that is just ask questions. He started to make basic questions about things, and the person answered that question, and then he make another question about the answer, and like that person become contradicted from their own words, sometimes. So make the right questions, as Lucas said before. Like, yeah, make the right questions and make the other think about what he's saying to us, his answering to us. And thinking about, again, philosophy as a matter of the other sciences, if we hadn't the question, we won't have the possibility to answer. Like if we don't have the question about the species evolution with Darwin, we won't have the answer, So the questions became first, and then the possibility of the answer that question. The question opened the possibility to see the world in another way, I guess, or to find new things, to discover new things in the world. An answer is easy to have because we have preconceptions about everything. But if this conception is right or wrong, the questions will show to us, So I think it's that.
Perfect. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think we have some that's answer are related question number 6, for example, because yeah, when you have that kind of conception like the philosophy, it's more about asking questions. We are more uh, we are we are the kind of person are open your minds to different conceptions about the world, because everything are in movement, everything change every time. Yeah, so I'm not the same person from 2 years ago, for example. Like I'm stay here, I started here and talk, and I'm a very shy person, for example, in the past. And because I changed myself, I changed a little step by step. I changed my conception about to be here, expose myself, about to be disciplined person, about to practice, about to be patient, about myself, about my journey, for example. And nowadays I'm a other person, and I have other posture here, for example. So we are change every time, yeah, and we need to be open and open our mind to a different mindset or different conception about the life. So it's a good one. And about you, Yanko, for example, I will try my answer before, because I told you maybe it's about the both, but yeah, maybe it's more about the asking question and to be open to change your point of view and our perspective, because I think the magic point about the life is change ourselves and open our mind, like Einstein mentioned before. Yeah, like we need to be open for the new conceptions. Okay, thank you, Lucas, for put here the philosopher. Are you searching? And let me see. And you, Lucas, what do you say about the question number 6? Do you believe in the existence of absolute trust? What do you know? Do you believe you have a trust in the world, or depend of the point of view, depend of your perspective or the others? What do you say about it?
I think it's absolutely related because sometimes in philosophy, I think the philosophy we can find the questions, but the answer is something really too relative to us. So the truth, I think I have some some uh, pensamentos about the word truth. But thinking philosophy, I think the answers we can find by ourselves, and we can use or they. So it's relative. I really think that it's related.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, it's related, because yeah, sometimes the person have the same conception but just try explain in a different way. Yeah, so but and the main point are the same thing, but the person just are comfortable to understand that kind of conception in that way, and it's okay. No, don't have any problem. Maybe it's more comfortable, or maybe it's because that person have a some background or experience before about that, and it's okay. Don't have any problem about it. And yeah, let's. So, Yaka, did you mention you have a class with philosophers? Yeah, was in your college. Yeah, do you have some? Um, did you like to study philosophy on the college? Do you think was useful or not for your life?
Yes, it was really useful and beautiful. Too, because I had this class with Karnal, but it was it was American history, História das Américas. But about philosophy, actually philosophy, it's funny because philosophy have a really a really close relation with psychoanalysis. And I like psychoanalysis and I like philosophy. So I I made I took a class about love and in psychoanalysis, but it was a philosopher that was ministrating this. O nome dela é Inara, I forgot her last name, but she was a beautiful teacher. She was cadeirante. She had a thing that impossibilitou some movements of her body, and she was before a ballerine, so she had a beautiful story, a difficult, tragic, and beautiful story. And she was in there talking about love and psychoanalysis. And it was nice to thinking about all the concepts about psychoanalysis and about philosophy together and thinking about ourselves. It was really, really interesting to think about how we love, why we love, thinking about questions, why we love, who we love, porque a gente ama, quem a gente ama, how our taste is built, como nosso gosto é construído, and all of this thinking about our primary relations with our mom and dads or with the person that took care of us, So thinking about this primary relation and then thinking about who we are nowadays. So it was really deep. It was really, really deep.
Yeah, we brought a different it's not point, but interesting point, unusual points. Yeah, for example, and for example, nowadays it's so hard to start to talk with someone about philosophy, for example, or topics like that. Yeah, so and because of that, I bring some topics like that for talk and talk, for example, because we use the English to talk about different topics because sometimes when I'm so close of my friends, for example, "Oh, let's go talk about philosophy," and my friends look for me, it's why? Why do you talk about philosophy and why it's useful for me or not? Yeah, so but about love, it's really interesting when you start to ask some ask ourselves about something like you mentioned why we love who we love. Yeah, why it's so important to know about that. So when I start to think about that, I'm a little I'm not talkative, I just think. And I think sometimes it's important to express that for the others to know about the other conceptions too. And thank you, Bianca. And you, Lucas, do you have some class about philosophy in your college? Or how sentence or how kind of class do you have more close to philosophy in your life? Do you have some example?
Sorry, I have some problems with my network. So is there you can make the question again, please?
Yeah, no problem. I just ask you about, do you have any class in the college or in your high school about philosopher? Or do you have some, yeah, if you watching some videos on YouTube or about philosopher, do you have some kind of experience with different conception from the philosopher?
I really don't. I don't saw a lot of content about philosophy. So I saw one time a video about the. I saw a video of Mario Sergio Cortella talking about what I do, what we do, and why we do. And he says something just really simple, but that hit on my mind, and I think about this a lot of times, and it's he asked artist what he do, why he does art, and he said, "I can do that. I can do. I can not make that." So it's really simple, but in my mind it's so hard, and I think about why I'm doing this, why I'm working with that, why I like that, because I can do that. So is that what I see in this video about of Mário Sérgio Cortella. So I leave that to my life. Why I make art? I'm graphic designer, because I can do that.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about it. Yeah. Why we to do what to do. Yeah. I have that. I have some books from Cortella, and I start to study philosophy more, more by myself because of the books from Cortella, and because I was in the college, I was in the graduated, and I have some class from like a redação. Yeah, I don't know, but my teacher realized in inside me some conceptions or philosopher thoughts, and he gave me a book from Cortella, and I start my study or my journey on philosophy because of that, because some persons talk to me sometimes, it's you are a little crazy or you think about different things. So and I start to think about it and why I'm here, why. Yeah, every time that kind of questions are in my mind. So I think it's important. Yeah. And yeah, guys, I use the talk and talk to talk about philosopher in a different way sometimes when I bring some topics like that. And I know that can be a little hard. I'm sorry, Lucas, about it. I don't know if you like it, the conversation, but I hope to see you here and the next Friday. And I put here my LinkedIn, guys, and let me just a moment because I will put here. Yeah, I will send you to the link for Surveil. Please send me feedback or send me some suggestion for the next conversation. And yeah, I'm really grateful about the conversation. Thank you for share the philosopher personalities. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for the conversation. Have a nice day. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.